Welcome back to another trivia video on Following Note on a Stormlight podcast. Joining us once again are Ranks, Tim, Paul, and Elliot. This time around, we will be doing more quote ID. I will be reading a quote. They have to supply me with the book it's from and who is talking to who. And 3 points available for each question. And just real quick around the circle here, give 1 to 10, how confident are we from those Dragonsteel interviews? How confident are you in your ability to ace this quiz? We'll start with Elliot. 1 to 10.
I'm at a full 6.5.
Paul?
I was going to say, if we're going by the rules for our trivia short videos, I would say a 6, but my real answer is, of course, an 11.
Okay. Ranks.
I'm going to go with 8 out of 10. And I'm going to eat my words, but...
And Tim?
Well, coming into this, I definitely felt like probably more like a 7 or an 8. But after our last video, maybe more like a 5.
Yeah. It's tough. It's really tough. There's a
All right.
lot of words.
There is a lot of words. All right, we'll be doing fairly quick fire this time around, so hold on to your hats. Here we go. Okay. Quote number 1. What you saw belongs to you. A story doesn't live until it is imagined in someone's mind. 3, 2, 1. Words of Radiance, Hoy to Kaladin. Words of Radiance, Hoy to Kaladin. Way of Kings, Wit to Kaladin. Way of Kings, Hoy to Kaladin. Okay, this is one of my all-time favorite chapters, The Wander Sail from The Way of Kings. And this is Hoyd speaking with Kaladin, although I don't think you know he's Hoyd yet. He hasn't been named Hoyd, he's still Wit at that point.
So is Tim technically the most correct then?
Okay.
Technically.
He had wit to Kaladin.
So either 2 or 3 points for all of you. Next question.
What?
I was a very regal fork, wouldn't you say? 2, 1. Pattern to Shalon, Windle to Lift, Windle to Lift, Windle to Girl.
It was meant to be Lift. I couldn't remember her name, and I knew it was the third book, but I couldn't remember Edge Dancer.
Edge Dancer, Edge Dancer, Edge Dancer. The correct answer is what Paul and Ranks are holding up. Edge Dancer, Windle to Lift. So
I don't know who spelled Windle right if either of us did. But...
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Wynddle. Windle.
Oh,
I did get it right.
Paul did get it right.
Nice.
Okay.
I did get it right.
I agree with Renarin. This is probably not the Night Watcher. 3, 2, 1. Yasna to Dalinar, Yasna to Dalinar, Yasna to Dalinar. Navani to Dalinar. Okay. So, what are the books we have? Oathbringer, Oathbringer, Oathbringer. Elliot, what was your Oathbringer?
Oathbringer.
Okay. I knew this one would be misleading because of where this is. This is Dalinar speaking to Adolin, and it is in the Way of Kings.
Way of
wow.
Kings.
That is a
They
throw off.
they are trying to figure out what is happening with his visions, and Adolin is telling him not to abdicate. And Renarin's like, I don't think this is the Night Watcher. And Dalinar says, yes, I agree with that. Yes.
Now we're on to you. Now we know that you're trying to pull some
Some of them.
So
What was
Bring
sorry,
it
what was
on
the
now.
difficulty level?
That was a
on
7.
That one? Did we say that? Okay, a set. Oh, okay,
dear.
a 7. Oh
Okay,
my.
this is a 9.
Oh no.
They don't keep going up from here. This was submitted by Phoenix. Most of these are submitted by me, but this was submitted by Phoenix. The truth destroys more people than it saves. 2, 1. Reveal.
Not super confident in this one.
Words of Radiance, Maraise to Shalon. Rhythm of War, Shalon to Vale. Way of Kings, Wit to Dalinar. Taravangian, Oathbringer, Adrotagia. Wow,
it's his,
we are
assistant
all
lady person.
Yeah, I know. We are all over the board here. Okay. The correct answer is Words of Radiance, Maraise to Shalon. Ranks is 100% correct.
Way to go.
Spot on.
Nice job.
Over span read, if I recall.
It might be, yeah. There is no fight to be won. We lost the moment we were born into this cursed life of suffering.
Well, that's motivational.
Yes. 5, 4, 3, reveal. Moash to Kaladin, Moash to Kaladin, Amaram to Kaladin, Venli to Eshonai, Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, Oathbringer. Okay. Moash to Kaladin, Rhythm of War is the
Ooh.
correct answer
Yeah, I
for
was
Debating
for
on
the
those
book.
two
As
different
soon as I saw
scenes.
Moash to Kaladin, I realized that was right. But so
I
I get
saw
1 point for
yours.
2 Kaladin, right?
Yeah, you do get a point for 2 Kaladin.
Moash
pity
seemed
point.
like the too obvious option in Moash there
Mhm.
because Moash. I need to go find that section because Moash does think there is a fight to be had, but he is
So-
talking about the terrible situation that they're in.
That one is in part 1 of Rhythm of War. They're in the cellar in Hearthstone. Moash does the mental attack on him and says,
nice.
you should commit suicide. It's the only way out.
Okay,
He might even he might not even believe what he's saying. He's just
right,
Right.
exactly.
trying
The
to get
context
Kaladin.
was
He's
important
saying what
there.
Kaladin is feeling, basically.
Right.
Oh, pick me. I want to do it. You don't even know what the mission is. 2 different people speaking, if that wasn't clear. 4, reveal. Lopin, Kaladin, Lopin, Rissin, Lopin, Kaladin, Kaladin, Lopin, Dawnshard, 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 Dawnshard. Okay. It is Lopin and Kaladin, Dawnshard, Chapter 3. Why do colors turn brown when they are mixed? 3 beautiful colors put together, and they become the least beautiful color. It makes no sense, General. This is also a 9.
Oh man, don't say. I think I'm wrong.
Here's a hint for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I know who it is. I can't remember the name, but I'll do my.
I will accept descriptors. If you cannot come up with a name, I will accept descriptors. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Zahel to Dalinar. Ardent to Dalinar.
I read mine?
Shalon to the Mink. Is that what?
Yep.
And the guy who
Looks at the map with Dalinar's surge binding powers. They're like looking
Rhythm
at
of
the map.
War, Words of Radiance. All right.
Yeah, is that the mink? I couldn't remember. Who
I think
it
that's
was.
the mink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim gets 1 point for Words of Radiance. Everybody else is fully incorrect.
Okay.
This is Varanus. If anybody had gotten that name, I would have questioned that you were cheating somehow. Varanus to Eshonai. They are trying to figure out their new forms and cannot figure out art form.
Oh, yeah.
And Eshonai is
Of
the
course.
general of the army at that point.
Yeah.
No way in the world
Yep.
would I have come to that conclusion without help.
My thought process was general. People don't refer to Dalinar as general. The only
Right.
general I could think of was the mink.
Yep.
So I was like, well, maybe
Yeah.
Shalon said it to him at some point.
This is where we come from. This is why some call us the Order of Bone. Tim had an epiphany moment. Tim is very happy that he remembered this.
Very confident.
10
I
seconds.
remember the name,
might
but
be
I think
wrong.
I'm close.
Give me a second.
5,
Yeah, I'm doubting
4, 3, 2. How long do you need, Paul? Okay, go.
Got it.
Words of Radiance, Graves to Vale, Oathbringer, Leshwi to Moash. Words of Radiance, Teft to the trainee soldiers, Dawnshard, Nickly to Rissin,
What's his actual name?
Nikli,
Okay.
Nickly.
That's a
Tim
good name to remember.
is 100% correct. This is
Oh,
Teft
yeah.
bringing the
Wow.
new Bridge 4 trainees down into the chasms, and they see a bunch of bones everywhere, and he says, this is where we come from. This is why people call us the Order of Bone, which never comes up again, by the way. And I'm pretty sure Brandon Sanders. Whenever I was writing this quote, I remembered some random factoid in my head that Brandon Sanderson said the Order of Bone was a term he used for Bridge 4 when writing Dragonsteel, because Bridge 4 is ripped from Dragonsteel and put into... Oh, anyway, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I remembered from it. So anyway. Okay, point update. Elliot.
A measly 6.
Paul.
I've got 10.
Ranks.
Whoa.
12.
Tim.
I'm at 15.
Whoa.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Next one. We all die in the end. So, I guess what truly matters is just how well you've run, even if you screw up all the storming time.
I highlighted this in my book.
You remember
Yeah.
highlighting this?
I do. I don't remember who said it.
I'm waffling.
Can you read it one more time? Because now I'm waffling too.
I will. It's a good quote. I will, of course, read it again. We all die in the end. So, I guess what truly matters is just how well you've run, even if you screw up all the storming time. Go. Oathbringer, 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 Words of Radiance. Teft to Kaladin, Teft to Kaladin, Kaladin to Wit, Kaladin to Teft. Okay. This is Words of Radiance. And it is Kaladin to Elokar. Kaladin is taking Elokar at the end of the book, trying to save his life, and he has learned his lesson from Wit about Fleet, and he's quoting Wit to Elokar saying, your life is worth saving even if you mess up all the storming time, is the scene.
I knew it couldn't be Wit talking because it said storming.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I figured it was Kaladin regurgitating Wit. But
It is,
no,
that is true.
Smart. I did not think about that kind of detail.
I remembered the story of Fleet, but I went down the same investigative process. Like this can't actually be Wit though.
Yep.
So it has to be Kaladin somehow.
My thought was when, I think it's an Oathbringer, right? When Teft is like on the fire moss and then like
Yep.
Bridge 4 has to drag him out of that. That's what I thought.
That's what I thought as well. That's
Yeah, I couldn't remember where Fleet was told, if it was Words of Radiance or Oathbringer.
All right, next question. I try not to hasten my expectations in either direction. The soldier's way. Deal with today's problems today, then sleep and deal with tomorrow's problems tomorrow.
So I remember the person's name, but I don't remember their... Oh, okay, I remember their name is Stormlight now. Okay, good.
I would have taken it.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was a spoiler for...
Yeah, I understand. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Xyle to Renarin, Xyle to Kaladin, Dalinar to
Gavilar,
Teft to Kaladin, Oathbringer, Words of Radiance, Wave Kings. Okay. All over the board here. Xyle to Kaladin is the obvious answer, but it is not the actual one. It is Dalinar to Taravangian in Oathbringer. Taravangian shows up to Urithiru and to join his coalition, and Taravangian asks him, do you think a bunch of other people will join us? And Dalinar says, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I'm thinking about today, and tomorrow.
I had the complete wrong thought process and got 2 points anyway. So
that was a tough one because it doesn't sound like Dalinar.
I thought it would be young Dalinar in a flashback.
Okay.
I did not think it was Dalinar. That was like my rule. I was like, that sounds like Xyle attitude.
It does sound like Xyle.
Like the, I'll worry about that tomorrow.
All right. Next quote. Your Majesty, with respect, the Recreance is ancient history to us, but to the Spren, it was only a few generations ago.
I have my answer, but I'm not happy about it.
I am super unhappy with my answer. It's so wrong. I
10
don't even
seconds.
think this happened.
All right, go.
I went for a really obvious one, but I don't think it is.
Rhythm of War, Rhythm of War, Rhythm of War, Rhythm of War. Shalon to Yasna, Rushu, Dalinar, Adolin to Kalak, Syl to Yasna. Okay.
Did Syl ever even talk to Yasna?
Okay, so this is Rhythm of War. You all got that answer. That's pretty obvious. It is Sigzil talking to Dalinar. And Dalinar is wondering why the Honor Spren are turning on them, and Sigzil is being the intermediary for his Spren, trying to say why they're not on their side at the moment.
I did not think Dalinar would be a Your Majesty, to be honest.
Yep.
Same.
Yeah. I thought there was some kind of like Your Majesty thing when they were in Shadesmar. Like someone was saying Your Majesty, but it was like really wrong,
Yeah.
and you know.
You are a detestable buffoon who achieves only the lowest level of mediocrity, as mediocre is the best your limited mind can imagine. Go. Shalon to Sabariel, Wit to Sadius, Shalon to Bookstore Keeper, Yasna to Amaram in Oathbringer.
Ooh.
Ranks is correct. This is Yasna to
Oh.
Amaram in Oathbringer when she finally
Yeah.
snaps and unleashes a tirade of insults at Amaram. That one's a hard one because it does not sound like Yasna. Yasna is not that type to just unload and hurl insults at everybody. But
I have to wonder if she learned that from Shalon. But
yes,
There is still some unanswered things in Yasna's past
Yep.
that we don't fully know, and that I think is the moment where maybe some of that comes out.
yep.
yeah,
All right. Calm yourself. I'm not going to bond it.
Is this a 10?
I'm not going to answer that question. I'll give it to you after.
Comes one giant shot in the dark.
I actually think I remembered this one, but we'll see that I'm wrong here in a second. But I think I remembered this one.
Shalon to Pattern in Oathbringer. Cultivation to the Night Watcher in Oathbringer. Risen to Horn-Eater Friend in Dawnshard. And Dalinar to the Stormfather in Oathbringer. All right. Ranks is once again correct. This is Dalinar to the Stormfather in Oathbringer. He's handling a shard blade.
Oh.
And the Stormfather says, "Yeah, you're not supposed to hold shards anymore. You promised me." And Dalinar says, "Calm yourself. I'm just not going to bond it. I'm just moving it."
I totally thought that was in Dawn Shard whenever they were in the place where they, find the Dawn Shard.
Mhm.
And there was like the plate, wasn't it? And the Horn-Eater, it was a Horn-Eater, right? I could be wrong on that.
Cord? Was that who you're talking about?
Yes, Cord. I couldn't remember the name. Cord like really wanted this, and I thought Cord got worried that Risen was going to bond it or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Or with the Dawn Shard.
When you
There
said
were two
plate,
scenarios that-
my brain did not go to the correct plate. I went to a plate. Like
A plate.
my,
Sorry.
so my
Same.
it took me a second to
there
get
was
to
plate.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. All right. 6 questions left. What is our point tally? Tim.
19.
Ranks?
22.
Paul.
Last time you asked, I was at 10. I am now at 12. So
Elliot.
I have equals Paul's increase. My measly 6 has gone to a meager 8.
All right.
Let's go.
There is still time to catch up. 6 questions remaining. I'm telling you to think. I'm telling you that if you want to change the world, you have to stop being part of the problem. Go. Fenderana to Teft. Queen Fen to Dalinar. Cal's dad to Kaladin in Rhythm of War. Cal to Adolin in Words of Radiance. All right. Liern to Kaladin is the correct answer in Rhythm of War. When they're having their tussle back and forth of how to help people Lyran is accusing him of being part of the problem.
That
Coming
makes
back to
sense.
me
Much
now.
more sense than what I put.
Yeah,
I should have gotten that
that's
one.
a tough one.
I was
That's a
thinking if
tough
this
one.
was anywhere, it would be Dalinar meets Then in a vision in Oathbringer, and he's trying to convince her
Yeah.
to join.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet there's something similar there.
Better that one man suffer than 10. 3, 2, 1, go. Kalak to Gavilar, Teravangian to Dalinar, Talnd to Shalash, and Teravangian to Dalinar, Oathbringer, 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 Rhythm of War. Okay.
I think it's Tom.
All of you are incorrect.
Oh no.
I'll count that as good.
It is it is Yezrian to Kalak
Mm.
in the prelude to the Stormlight Archive in Way of
I was-
Kings.
I wrote down Yezrian, but I thought it was the Yezrian to Dalinar, like when he was like Ahu.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, no, he doesn't actually say that because we would have made a bigger deal about it then.
Yeah.
Whatever we discussed. Tough.
All
I
right.
just reread that prelude recently too.
I reread
I
it
should.
today to put down the quote. Or what, yesterday.
Wow, I'm glad you would have.
It's only like-
right.
I would have got that
Oh.
one. I would have got that one.
Isn't it just like 4 or 5 pages long? It's really short.
Yeah, it's 4
Mhm.
pages long. All right. I heard an interesting idea once. While traveling in a land you will never visit, there are a group of people who believe that each night when they sleep, they die.
If I'm wrong, I might as well be really wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah, same.
Like
the
Silda
bigger one is
Yasna?
the one that I think it actually is.
3, 2, 1, go.
Maybe.
Rhythm of War, Hoy to Yasna, Way of Kings, Sigil to Kaladin, Way of Kings, Axes to Rissyn, and Rhythm of War, Hoyd to Kaladin. 0 points all around. Nobody gets anything.
Was it Mraze to Shalon? That
No.
was my second guess.
This
Okay,
is Arklo, the sleepless in Edge Dancer, talking to Lift.
Oh,
Oh.
So I was on the
Oh.
right track, just not.
You were. That's a 10,
were
by
on
the
the
way.
right
If anyone had gotten that one, I would have been appalled. All right. 4 more questions. Now, here we go. Now, why is a young flower like you bothering herself with such topics? Can't I interest you in a nice romance novel? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. The Way of Kings, bookkeeper to Shalon, bookseller to Shalon, bookkeeper to Shalon, Thalen bookstore guy to Shalon, The Way of Kings. Everybody gets 3 points, and what's his name for the 4th point? Oh, come on. No, nobody knows that it's Artmyrn.
Artburn.
Artmyrn.
Sounds about right.
Artmyrn. Artmyrn.
It was right
To
there
be
on
honest,
the back of my tongue.
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
been surprised if he was unnamed in the books.
I thought
Yeah,
I thought he was, but
I-
he does have a name.
I'm sad that I thought about that guy earlier, and then now there was the question
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
The Alethi know now, and the enemy has always known. The peaks have a portal, a gateway, a path to the world of gods and Spren. Go.
No idea.
Sleepless to Rock in Oathbringer, Yasna to Shalon in Words of Radiance, Rhythm of War, Teravangian to Adrotagian, Oathbringer. Everybody's incorrect. That I think. I don't think there's any points in there. This is Cord to Rissyn in Dawnshard.
Ah.
Oh. Oh,
I thought it must be a horn eater talking, but
yeah, same.
I mean,
Or
question mark was an accurate representation of my thought process.
That's what, I thought it was a Hoyneater or Yasna or one of our like deific characters.
All right. I will give you truths, and I know some juicy ones. Ranks is very confident.
Do we get extra points for getting all the names right?
You could probably tell me the chapter if you're that confident, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, ready enough. Not confident on the book.
3, 2, 1, go. Hoy to design, wit to his spren at the palace, pattern to Shalon, Hoy to design, Oathbringer, epilogue, Oathbringer, Oathbringer, Oathbringer. All right, you guys are correct. It is, except for Paul. It is. It is.
Brutal.
Hey, it's just the truth, okay? It is Hoyd trying to coax Design out of the palace to save her life from the fused who are still in Kolinar. And last quote. People may not be perfect, but they're worth helping strive for perfection. And you are worth more than you can ever be sitting alone and refusing to grow.
I have a wild guess here. It's probably wrong.
Got 2 ideas.
It's on the tip of my brain. It's like there's gonna be a duh once you tell us.
I think I'm wrong, but I think I can be proud of my answer, just like I've said with almost all of these so far.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Adolin to the Honor Spren, Fenderana to Teft, Shalon to Gaz?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, when does she ever talk to Gaz? Cultivation to Teravangian, Rhythm of War, Rhythm of War, Rhythm of War, Words of Radiance.
The way you choked on my answer makes me think I didn't get it right, Trevor.
Well, I was trying to think to myself, I remembered he joined the caravan. Anyway. Elliot is 100% correct. Adolin is making the case for humanity in front of the Honor Spren. And he says, people may not be perfect, but they're worth helping strive for perfection.
Well
It really felt like
done.
something cultivation would say. I wonder if that's a hint towards
That was
something.
clever, actually, with the grow part of it.
Yes.
I think with that, Elliot passed me, and I'm kind of emo about it.
All right.
Is Adolin
last
the next
question.
vessel of cultivation?
Ooh.
I hope so.
All right. Final points. Elliot.
A couple of clutch answers towards the end there got me up to 17.
Paul.
16. Brutal.
Ranksk.
He's still counting.
29. I was double checking. 29.
And Tim.
29.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
I wish I had a tiebreaker.
Remarkable.
I don't have a tiebreaker.
We need a tiebreaker. I'm just gonna whip something out random and read it.
Yeah. Well, don't
Yeah,
show him the
okay.
book.
Nothing
Don't show us the
ridiculous.
book.
Don't show him the book.
I'm gonna like flip to a random chapter here.
Do it. I'll participate.
Yeah, if Trevor gets this one spot on, he wins.
I win. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
I
three-way tie. You
I-
knew all the other ones, right?
would have
Sitting
aced the
right there,
quiz.
but-
Yeah. So
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
2 blind men waited at the end of an era, contemplating beauty. They sat atop the world's highest cliff, overlooking the land and seeing nothing.
I was gonna participate, but I don't think I can
ahead.
participate. So
Go ahead.
I've got mine with chapter number 2, Trevor. So
Well, good.
not chapter number 2, but chapter number as well.
If it's 2, you're wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's still
Okay.
working.
We'll give it a go.
All right, 3, 2, 1, show. I see lots of words of radiance except for Paul.
Hmm.
Okay. Lots of Hoyd, lots of wit. Shalon, lizards.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
the
think
lizards,
he's
like the
I think
things
he's
as
right.
As he's waiting
Hoyd to
for
Songling.
Songling.
Songling?
Songling.
Yeah.
As he's waiting for what's her face to come out
Words
of
There was some sort of Kremling singing thing.
The
that he
epilogue.
was
I think you
talking
guys
to
are
in the epilogue.
right.
I thought of that scene as I was reading this, but it's not that. It's not the Hoid to the lizard scene.
Oh,
It is to Shalon.
Yes. In the flashback festival chapter,
Void to Shalon.
Mhm.
Middlefest,
That's
chapter
I
56.
was thinking of Middlefest as my other option, but I thought this was the quote for the songling. But
I wrote chapter 58, so if that makes it, then I think I win.
It is Middlefest. The chapter is actually 45 in Words of Radiance.
So I win the tiebreaker.
so that didn't
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
break our tie.
Yeah, Rankskin and Tim are still tied.
Well, to be
We
fair,
had the exact
your
same answer.
Your second guess was going to be right. My second guess was him to the guards when Talon shows up, but I was wrong.
Mm.
Oh, those are all really
He talks
good. I'm
about
really
timeliness to
impressed.
those guards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
I'm
he
very
told this.
impressed, these are-
Did he tell the same story to Shalon and the songling, or was it a lizard thing? I
Yeah,
don't remember.
flip to the. I mean, I assume that you guys both answered it, so I wonder if it's the same monologue in the epilogue. Now,
That'll be very
Does
likely
he
to do.
quote himself?
anyway,
I'm really impressed that y'all
We
both
will-
came to this exact same
Yeah,
response.
Wrong answer.
Yeah.
yeah.
But great minds truly think alike.
we will conclude there on a tie. That is okay. Thank you for joining me, Paul, Elliot, Ranksk, and Tim. Any closing words, Tim?
It's just a pleasure to be here and to join you guys. And I remember when you first got started and how far you guys have come. I'm so proud of you guys, and I'm really excited to continue following you guys. And maybe I can join again at some future point.
Ranked?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it. Had fun again, and I'm really enjoying the podcast. And I hope you guys enjoy your break and come back strong with whatever it is you're starting with in March, right?
Yeah, we
Mhm.
still haven't decided because there's a
Yeah,
there's a schedule conflict that we had to come up with. But Paul,
yeah.
Well, I hope Ranks and Tim, we're splitting the winnings between you, but I hope you don't spend it all in one place. So, best of luck. I thought I wouldn't get last, and it barely eluded me. Elliot, you beat me by a point. But I had a blast. I think this is one of the most fun, probably the funnest trivia we've had. I really enjoyed it. The questions were just on that level of it gave me a false sense of hope where I felt like I was giving a right answer and was wrong. So that's, I guess, fun or depressing, whichever one you want to choose.
there were some misleading ones in there. I apologize for that. Elliot,
I think it's clear from this quiz that I need to do a reread, which I'm actually incredibly excited about. It's a ways away because we have other Cosmere we have to do. We're going to be pushing up against it to get Cosmere current for Stormlight 5, which I really want to be. So post Stormlight 5 sometime, I'm going to go back and do a reread. Maybe we'll do it on the podcast. Who knows? But I'm actually really excited to go have all of those, like, wait, this happens here? All those moments.
Yeah.
And this whole quiz made me think of that as you're throwing out random stuff. It's like, wait, that happens in that book? Man. So this was fun. Ton of fun.
sounds good. Thank you all for joining me, and we will reconvene whenever we reconvene.
And to all, a good night.
Cheers.
Bye.